Welcome back, it's Francis Mac, and well, as you can see from the thumbnail, from the title, we're talking about my weight loss and how I lost about 30 pounds over the course of the last year. In the year 2022, yes, it was the year 2022, children. And now we are in 2023. Now, before I get into all the nitty-gritty details about, my history with my weight and weight loss, what I did to lose said weight, am I keeping it off, have I gained it back, yada 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 yada, we need to talk about a disclaimer. Now, buckle up, this is a pretty long disclaimer. I am not saying that you need to lose weight. I am not saying that you have to do what I did. I am not saying that being fat is a bad thing. I'm not saying being fat is a good thing. I'm just saying that being fat is being fat, and being fat does not equal your level of attractiveness. Being fat is, as I just said, being fat. Also, that when I use the terms diet, please don't feel triggered in any way, shape, or form. If you are not ready to watch this video, I kindly respect that, and you should click off. And please take care of yourself. And maybe one day when you're ready and able to watch this video, I will welcome you back with open arms. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video whenever you do get the chance to watch it. I'm also not saying that there is anything wrong with doing things in the way that you want to do them. This is just what worked for me. And I'm gonna be honest, a little, foreshadowing. This is what's worked for a lot of other people. So I'm not here to preach anything. I'm just here to, let you in on the tea, let you in on my story. This is a story time video. Nothing should be taken as actual advice that you need to absolutely do. I am going to be telling you, of course, as I mentioned, what I did. And if you are interested in sustainable weight loss, I highly encourage you look into what I did, because it's changed my life, not gonna lie. Once again, not the disclaimer part's over, but just for your own little information, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. It's absolutely free. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to be reminded every time I post a new video. Now we can officially get into the realm of weight loss and my weight loss journey. And what is a good weight loss journey story without the history? So I'm gonna try to keep this brief and succinct as best I can. I am not always the best at doing that. So here it is. My weight has always been a point of contention, like it is for most women who grew up in Western culture. It is a very broad way of saying that I am Canadian. I was born in, Canada, obviously. I am North American, technically. So that means I was raised within this whole culture. And also the culture from, growing up in the 90s and 2000s when thin was in and thin maybe coming back in, which is a whole other topic. But growing up, I wasn't particularly, when I was a child, concerned about my weight. I was partly, but not really. My weight was more so in relation to when can I eat more food. I love food. That has not changed. I am a glutton. I love to eat. I love to eat. Eating is fantastic. Eating is life. Eating gives you life. All that to say, I like to eat, and when I was a child, I had what my mom calls a hollow leg, where I was able to eat and eat and eat. And again, as a kid, nothing pretty, spectacular happened. I was able to, work it off. I was running outside, I was playing, doing kid stuff. So my weight was never really a huge issue. My weight started becoming an issue when I was being socialized as a girl. And then having friends who had moms who put heavy pressure on them to be a certain weight and a certain size. and then I started to feel that as well. Not to mention, in one of my previous videos, I did mention in one of my previous videos, I don't know when this will be coming out, but in a previous video I did mention that I also have a physical disability. It is a neuromuscular condition, and that has also made it difficult for me to continue to do, regular exercise without having so much pain, and also with my muscles not being able to function in the way that they are always designed to. Yeah, I was starting to retain weight, and I didn't let it bother me so much because in a way I was being, not in a way, yeah, I was being heavily bullied as a child for things that were not weight related at all. It was just who I was as a human, which does not sound as wonderful, but that's the reality. So it wasn't really a concern. I just kept on eating, and eating made me feel good. I am an emotional eater. I am a stress eater, and I've learned that over the years. Now, as I went into high school and beyond, also university, that's when I started to think about my weight more. I didn't like the way I looked in certain things. Of course, I tried to dress in ways that people would think that I was attractive. When I mean people, I mean guys. Not necessarily in the best ways that I felt attractive, because to me back then, if boys thought I was attractive, then I thought I was attractive. And that's also a very toxic mindset that I changed, not in the course of the past year, but I changed that mindset a fucking long time ago. But either way, that's kind of the history. So I went and started doing different exercise and diet plans really when I was in university, because I was gaining weight, then losing weight, then gaining weight, then losing weight. It was a clear pattern throughout. I was doing all these different fad diets. Basically, continued to do that, continued to exercise on and off, changed ways of eating on and off throughout the years until literally last year. And that's when we get to this part of our story. So now we enter into the beginning of 2022. And I had gotten engaged in September 2021. I wasn't really concerned necessarily about my weight. I mean, my weight has always been an issue with me. Yeah, so I still didn't like the way that I looked, but I knew I was loved and I liked to eat, so I just made myself feel tried to make myself feel as attractive as I could in the moments where I did feel attractive. And then other times I just hid and didn't want to be seen. I did a whole Instagram series on my Instagram, which is Miss Frances Mack, and I even did a video talking about revealing my insecurities when I took, more explicit photos of myself, posted them to try to combat my insecurities. To be honest, my insecurities, some of them have diminished slightly, some of them are still here more than ever. You should definitely go watch that video. It's a bit of a long one, but it is worth it, and it explains my rationale behind everything. And that was in January 2022. Previously, in December, my mom came to me and she was talking about this weight loss program. And that's where my story begins, because the three women that changed my life was my mom, myself, and a woman named Gina Livy. So my mom heard about this through, I think, a former coworker / friend. I can't remember exactly how she found out, but she heard about this weight loss program and she wanted to sign up, and she wanted, me to do it along with her. Well, she was requesting it. She didn't know if I was interested, and previously we did keto together when we were living together, and we were helping each other be accountable. So I thought, really, what do I got to lose? Well, what do I got to lose is losing weight, but I had nothing to really lose by going through and taking part in this program with her. So I agreed and we got signed up, and then it came to the start of the program, which was January 10th. And as part of this program, which, let me just backtrack this. So who is Gina Livy? Gina Livy is a fellow Canadian. She was also from Ontario, which I live in. And she is a personal trainer. And she was a fitness professional. She has always enjoyed sports, dance, everything in between. And she really wanted her passion to be taken into her job, so she became a personal trainer. But she was then fat. And she was still being a personal trainer. She was teaching Zumba, she was teaching all of these different things, but she was still fat. And again, not saying this is anything, it's just fat, it's fat. It's not a thing to be weird about, just she was fat. So she was going to doctors, she was trying to find trainers, she's trying to do all this stuff, and the doctors had kind of an antiquated method, which technically is true, calories in versus calories out. However, Gina said that I'm eating so much food, which was abysmal, and she was exercising 8-9 hours a day for her job, and she was still fat. So the math was not math then, when the doctors kept on saying you need to exercise and eat healthier and eat less. And she was fed up by it. So she decided to go through, do her own research, met with the doctors, formulated her weight loss method. She lost the weight, and then she decided to package this into a succinct program and decided to offer it to the masses for a set fee, of course. And then she has a book and an app and everything, and now she's been doing this and helping people lose the weight. Her whole thing is finally and forever. She does not want you to have to be stuck on this program to the end of days. This is not like Weight Watchers, this is not like Atkins, this is not like all the other stuff that I have personally tried before. She wants you to lose the weight, and then she does not want to see you again, using the tools that she provides you. And that was a really powerful message. To be honest though, when I was first starting this, again, I had the idea of, I have nothing to lose, I'll give it a shot, but I wasn't necessarily convinced. Because like so many people, Gina herself too, did before, is that they tried everything under the sun and the results were still the same. You lose a little bit of weight for a short amount of time, and you get really frustrated and fed up with the restrictiveness of diets, and especially fad diets. So you revert back to old patterns, and sometimes you put back on the weight, which you always actually end up putting it back on the weight, but sometimes you end up putting on even more weight than what you've had before due to these restrictions and unrealistic expectations. Getting back to what I was previously talking with, January 10th. So January 10th, the program started, and in January 10th, 2022, my life changed. Not immediately, but that is still a very important day for me because that's when I started the program officially, and that's where I learned so much more than I could ever thank Gina for. And she is an incredible woman. She runs her whole program. And I, on January 10th, 2022, weighed 147.8 pounds. To give you context, I am 5'4", and so technically I'm petite, which means just proportions wise, doesn't mean anything in particular, but like weight, it just means height wise. I'm technically petite. I'm on the border of it, but yeah. So I was visibly overweight and, along the lines of, fat. So part of the Gina program is you have to determine, what would be your ideal weight. But with the caveat of what would be your ideal weight that you think would be, sustainable for you in your mind. And I thought, well, given my height and age, I was 28 at the time, I'm 29 now, I thought, I'm like, okay, 120 pounds. Let's just shoot for there. Or I originally thought, 125 pounds, and then I'm like, well, let's push myself a little more. 120 pounds, so that I could fluctuate within the 120, 125 range. I will be fine with that. I think that's sustainable. And then it was off to the races. I followed her plan, her program to the letter, and it was very good, and I had a lot of self-discipline. I also had my mom as well as a support system, but with this program, there's a whole community of people that you get to talk to and chat with and go and learn along the way as well. So you really weren't alone with trying to do this program. And the sense of community I've learned is very helpful. So in February 2022, like a little less than a month later, I moved in with Ryan, so we were on our own for the first time. I was in sole charge of making all of my food and keeping to the letter of the Gina Livy law. And I did it, and I succeeded. And by the end of the program, I did lose weight. And I signed up for another program as well. So I did the program twice. I bought the books, I have the app, and I continued on performing this. And then I hit 120 pounds within that year. At my lowest in 2022, which was actually in December, which is funny because normally December is the month where people's, ideals kind of go out, or dieting, and high quotations, goes out the window. And I actually hit my lowest I had ever been at all there during that year. I was 118.8 pounds. So I was 119 pounds. Let's just round up. That's what I was. Yeah, so I feel like I cannot stress this enough that the Gina Livy method, her weight loss program, changed my life completely. Not just how I eat food and what food and how often I eat food, but not only that, she changed my habits in terms of how I think about food, how I think about water, how I think about sleep, how I think about a whole myriad of things that come into play when trying to make sure your health is being taken as a priority. And my health is my priority and continues to be my priority, as I said in my previous goals video of 2023. Now you're probably thinking, okay, you were like 119 pounds and in December for part of the month. I was down 119 pounds for the whole month. I should clarify that right off the bat. This is January 2022, January 2022, so you're probably thinking, where am I now? And where am I now is I am comfortable. I am happy. I am content. I like looking at myself in the mirror now. I think I look hot some days, and I think I look sexy other days. And some days I feel like I am reverting back to my previous version of myself. Or, not fully that, I should say, is that I'm scared sometimes, because part of the Gina program is that you weigh yourself every single day. I'm not going to tell you the specifics about all the ins and outs of the program, because I highly, highly encourage, if you are interested in the Gina Livy method, you should 100% just go do it. It's 12 weeks of your life. It's a 12-week program. Buy the book, do the program, use the app. It's just 12 weeks. What's 12 weeks out of your whole life? You can do it. I believe in you. I'm not here to preach anything. And, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, well, you'll be like me in a way and be forever changed. So it's not really the worst scenario to be in when it comes to if you feel stuck like I did. That being said, as I mentioned, that part of the method is that you have to weigh yourself every day. And weighing yourself every day can be a trigger for some people who, of course, had eating disorders or, weight issues, as I did. I did not have an eating disorder, but, I had issues with my weight. But stepping on the scale every single day is a good tool to have. And it informs you about so much. It can tell you that, yes, it's water weight. Or remember when you decided to go out and eat with your girlfriends? Yeah, of course, like you ate pizza. So your weight's naturally going to go up. But that's nothing to be concerned about, because if you keep eating in your sustainable fashion, you'll go back to the weight you originally desired. Not to the way you were, but to the weight you desired. And it's sustainable. So that's where I'm at. Today I weighed myself and I weighed 120 pounds on the dot. It was actually almost teetering between 119.8 and 120. I'm 120 right on the dot this morning. But guess how much I weighed yesterday? Yesterday I weighed 124 pounds. Where did those 4 pounds go? There's a lot of different things. It could have been water weight. It probably was residual items in my system being washed through, because when I was saying about the pizza with the girls, I had pizza with my girlfriends. And that's what I chose to do. And I'm happy that I ate that pizza. I had a drink. I also drank copious amounts of water, which is something that's huge when it comes to weight loss. Notice throughout this whole video to where we are now, I did not mention anything about exercise. I didn't have to exercise. Now I should throw this out there. That's not to say that you shouldn't exercise if that's something you want to do. I'm now on that train of I want to move my body because I want to get stronger, and I think that would be really fun. But I did not have to do copious amounts of exercise in order to lose the weight. I was able to lose all that weight and keep it off by doing this method, just through what I was eating. I'm also going to say, since I am such a glutton and such a foodie, and I never wanted to feel hungry, I didn't want to feel like I was starving myself. That's something that in the previous ways that I was trying to lose weight, that's what happened. And I hated that. Then I ended up eating more. I have never felt hungry. I mean, apart from a couple of times when doing the program, but those are for very specific reasons that did not have to truly do anything overall with how I feel today. I'm never hungry. I'm constantly eating, and I'm losing weight, and I'm maintaining my best confidence level I've had since I was honestly a child. I am so happy, and I'm feeling confident. And even on days when I don't feel confident, I'm still more confident than I was a year ago. And that's pretty incredible, knowing that. And I think it's visible, seeing the evolution throughout my videos. You know, I was able to go on vacation. I went to Italy and I ate so much food. And I have birthday celebrations, and I have date nights, and I have times when I just want to have a sweet, and I have a sweet, and I don't, and not to say that I don't feel guilty, but I don't let myself feel guilty. I try not to feel guilty. I'm still working on it. I'm still human. But I enjoy it so much, and I'm able to do that without feeling waves of guilt that I would have felt years ago. At the end of the day, weight loss is a very personal experience, and it's a very personal decision, and you should of course ultimately make that up for yourself. You do what you need to do. If you want to lose your weight, absolutely you should do that. And if you've tried many things like I have and you want to try something new, I would definitely, like I said, I highly encourage you to go check out Gina Livy, the Livy Method. I'm going to leave her Amazon book down below. I'm going to leave the link to her program down below. I'm going to leave links to everything about her down below because she changed my life. And I can't express enough gratitude. I also cannot express enough gratitude to you who are watching this video, and especially to those of you who have just subscribed to my channel. Until next time, as always, thanks for playing.